Good night, everyone, and I want to thank everyone for coming on to this new session for Tuesday of the Healthy Reset. And the topic we're dealing with tonight is what signals the end of menopause. And it's a question that is always asked to me from many women that I engage with on a daily basis. It is such a stressful time, sometimes a confusing time. It can be a very turbulent time. Sharina, good night and welcome. And it is a topic that I had to go through my mind, a brainstorm this week. What signals the end of menopause? So many of us, we are feeling like our body is working against us during the menopausal period. We sometimes are struggling with hot flashes, with the weight gain, or with the sleepless nights. And many times we are wondering if there is a better way or if there's a way out of this. So I am Miss Maria Nis Joseph, and my forte is menopause, women's health. I'm a women's health nurse, I'm a registered nurse, I'm also a midwife. But at this time in my life and this time in my career, I work with women in the sexual health area, and because of that, and because of what I too am going through in this time of my life, and the amount of questions a lot of women ask me, a lot of help they come for. This was one of the instigators to start this channel online, because many times, many of us, we are suffering in silence. We don't want to bother anyone, and we keep a lot of the things to us, or these changes to ourselves, until we reach the point where we cannot take it no more. So many women seek help by me. Sometimes people are referred to come and first to have a chat, because many women are swept aside at this point in time. Go in a corner, sit down with your symptoms, it will go away. And so much things going on with our bodies at that time. It is very frustrating if you don't have somewhere or someone to talk to on how you could better the symptoms. So hence the reason why this was started. So for years, I've been helping women just like you and me to cut through this confusion, to help us to balance our hormones and to do it naturally, and finally feel in control of our bodies again. Now, this is something our mothers never told us about. This is something our grandmothers have never told us about. This is something we all, once we're alive and we reach this stage in life, we will meet this. So in today's video, we learn what truly signals the end of menopause. How do we know when menopause is truly over? The key signs our body is transitioning from one stage to the next, in this case, from menopause into the postmenopausal phase, and how to manage life after this menopause phase has passed. So stay with me, because stay around, and I have a bonus sign that most women overlook when they're going through the transitioning from menopause to the postmenopausal phase. So at this point in time, for many of our viewers, those of us who are coming on and listening on for the first time, I'm just going over defining menopause and its phases. So when we talk about menopause, there's a lot of confusion. Women often ask me, am I in perimenopause? Am I in menopause? Or am I in the postmenopausal phase? So there's some certain things I want to clear up now, so let's clear that up. Perimenopause is that transition phase leading to menopause. And this stage can last from anywhere from 4 to 10 years, give and take, some more or even less, according to the individual, because there's nothing hard and fast about the number of years. So everybody doesn't experience it the same way, but there's an average. So the average is 4 to 10 years. And during this time, our ovaries are gradually producing less estrogen. Our periods may become irregular. Sometimes we see 2 periods in a month back to back. Sometimes they break, sometimes they are further apart, and symptoms like the famous hot flashes, the mood swings, the disrupted sleep at night, these things begin. They get up to use the bathroom from your sleep, and when you go back to your bed, you just see yourself looking at the ceiling, and it's hard to get back to sleep. All of these are signs that you are in perimenopause. For some women, though, perimenopause is it comes very subtle, but for others, it can feel like their body is going haywire. And I am in that extreme, that haywire side. So then comes the menopausal aspect itself. Menopause is not just the moment your symptoms start. Menopause, and it's not the day your period ends. So clinically, if you're going clinically, menopause is generally confirmed when you've gone 12 straight months, 12 full months without having a menstrual period. So that means if you go 9 months without a period, and then that 10th month, or that within that 9th month going into the 10th month, your period comes again, the clock resets, and you start counting that 12 months from that period again until you go 12 straight months without having your cycle. Now, this is the body's way of signaling that your reproductive years are officially behind you. So let us get it back again, 12 straight months without having your period. And then you could say, all right, the menopausal aspect has passed. And then finally, there is the postmenopausal phase. And this is the phase after all you pass through the perimenopause, the menopausal phase, and this is the stage after the 12 straight months of having a senior period. It's called the postmenopausal phase. This is the stage after menopause is complete. So our hormone levels now remain constantly low. So you're not on the highs and low and the up and downs that we were when we were in going through it perimenopausally and that stage. And our cycles now are gone. No more periods. That part is gone, done with. And so you know that marks the end of our reproductive years. And so you're now adjusting to this new baseline. But here's the important thing here. Just because your postmenopausal, at this stage, symptoms may not disappear completely. So many women at this phase to feel at times the fullness of the breast. They get the feeling like the period wants to come, but it doesn't come. Some women still experience the hot flashes. Many women still experience the vaginal dryness and changes in energy levels. So it's also worth noting that every woman's experience is not the same. Sometimes sisters may be going through it and they go through it differently, one sister to the next. So some transition very quickly, like my sisters, while others experience symptoms for a decade or more. So I'm still in the perimenopausal phase, and I've been in this phase for a number, right? Now I am realizing now at this phase, since probably last year, I've started to miss my period. And I'm now transitioning. It's coming still, but I'm still in the perimenopausal phase. I was very happy when I started to miss my period, to be honest with you, because this has been a real storm for me. Genetics, lifestyle, and overall health play a role in how our body moves through these stages. And I believe my genetics is really, I know, it's playing around with me as it is doing with a lot of other women. Understanding these phases matter because it helps us to know what is normal and what is not normal. And that is important, especially when we reach in the postmenopausal phase as well. So the key signals that menopause is ending. So how do you know when you have crossed that line? Let's break it down. The signals in detail. So let's look at signal number 1, no menstrual periods for 12 months that I mentioned, just as I mentioned before. This is what we call the gold standard. Once you've gone a full year without a period, you've officially reached that menopause hole. But here's something many women don't realize. Spotting or irregular bleeding after that 12 months, after that point, should always be checked by a doctor. You go see a healthcare provider like myself and the necessary referrals as well, or go to a doctor and get that checked out. While it's often not serious, postmenopausal bleeding can sometimes signal that something that needs attention, like probably you may have developed polyps, which is growths inside of the vaginal area. Sometimes it comes out, this growth may come on the endocervical area, which is the outer part of the cervix, or that growth may come from the inner part of the womb, which is we call the us, which is the mouth of the womb, and it may cause bleeding. And there are also changes in your the uterine changes in the womb that could mean precancerous cells or cancerous cells. You don't want to take chances. So any bleeding that comes after you reach menopause, it is very important that you get that checked out. You don't keep it and think it would subside and think it is another sign that you are in the menopause stage here still. Once the 12 straight months of bleeding has stopped and bleeding comes after that stage, get that checked out, please. So next signal, number 2, changes in the hot flashes and the night sweats. For many women, these symptoms peak during menopause, and we know about the hot flashes and the night sweats, and then gradually they start to decline. Now, studies have shown that hot flashes typically could last for 7 to 10 years, but the intensity in which it used to be in the perimenopausal phase has now, or the menopausal phase has now gone, right? The intensity has decreased over time, and if you notice that your hot flashes are less frequent and are easier now to tolerate, it's often a sign that your hormones are now leveled out, they are dropped and they are level now. It's not dipping and rising as before. But remember, for some women, these may persist in the postmenopausal years. That doesn't mean something is wrong. It just means that your body is just unique. Everybody, and I've heard a lot of women tell me they've passed through the menopausal phase, that 12 months of not bleeding, and some of the symptoms still persist. And some of us are like that. So we have to deal with, some of these things. We need to, there are options out there that, that could be could deal with some of these symptoms. We deal with it as I continue. Signal number 3, hormonal or hormone stabilization. During perimenopause, estrogen and progesterone, they fluctuate. So they keep going up, down, crazy, real, like you're going through a wild ride. And you might feel fine one moment and completely off balance the next moment. Once you've entered the postmenopausal phase, hormone levels settle into a new low baseline. So this stability may not eliminate all the symptoms, but it does reduce the unpredictability of that stage when you were in the perimenopausal phase. So many women say, at least now I know what to expect from my body. It is not as haywire as before. All the symptoms are not as strong as before and have me off balance at work, I'm biting at everybody, I'm feeling frustrated and things like that. So signal number 4, physical changes. This is where the body gives you a visible sign and tangible clue that you have passed through menopause. Is one of the things is vaginal tissue may become thinner, right? So that means many times they come to have a pap smear done, because we know it's done from the age of 21 to 65 in this part of the world. Or when you started to have sexual intercourse, it is advised that if it's earlier than 21, a year after starting, you start to come and you do your pap smears. So one of the 4th sign I'm telling you about now is the vaginal tissue.
She's a nurse, midwife.
Hi, good night. Okay. So the vaginal tissue becomes thinner, and that is very evident for women who have gone through menopause and in the postmenopausal phase and come to have a pap smear done. It is very different, and it becomes very, very uncomfortable, and for many women, painful. So hence the reason when women come to me at that stage, I try to make it as very comfortable as possible. I use more gel on the speculum. I position them differently. Take extra gentle care of them at this time, even though I do it for everybody, but I take more time because that area is so thin. Sometimes just a little slip can cause bleeding and discomfort and pain. So dryness and the thinning of that vaginal tissue. So that is one of the things you know that you're in this particular phase. That is one of the physical indicators. The dryness could cause also discomfort when having sexual intercourse as well. So this is the time when I would tell them, you could use the creams, the gel that the vaginal gels and the ones that are water-based, not the ones that are oil-based, because it has a less chance of causing any infection or discomfort or, any reaction to that oil in the gel. So a water-based gel to help with those of us who have our partners and engaging in sexual activity to make it easier. So you may notice also changes in your hair growth. So many women, some of us develop female pattern baldness. Some of us, our hair starts to thin out, our hairline recedes, right? So these are not some of the physical signs that you're in the postmenopausal phase. Shifts in skin elasticity, you may see now around your eyes, around the mouth area, and subtle signs, or with some people, more deeper signs that you're starting to get wrinkles, or changes in, as well as changes in your weight, how it's distributed. So the tummy becomes more visible, that flat tummy, because of the decrease in estrogen and progesterone, we tend to gain more fat around that tummy area. And then bone density is an issue here as well, because bone density begins to decline more quickly here. So, which is why postmenopausal women are at a greater risk to get osteoporosis. And these changes aren't always easy, but they do reflect that your body has crossed into a new phase. Signal 5. Let's look at our emotional and cognitive shifts at this time. Now, during perimenopause, our mood swings and brain fog can feel overwhelming. And you know the brain fog, for those of us who can remember what brain fog is, you go in a room to get something, you go to do something. And as you reach to the room, you wonder, I wonder why I'm here. You go outside, you remember, and then you go back in and you forget. So all of that is brain fog. That overwhelming feeling, that forgetfulness, that you have to write down everything. Now, as your hormone stabilizes, many women find that their emotion, the brain fog starts to ease up. Things become a little steadier. The anxiety, the irritability often at times may decrease. Though some cognitive issues like forgetfulness may linger with some ladies. So this is it. The important thing is that the turbulence of the hormonal swings at this time should and has calmed down for most women, or for many women. So here's something else to keep in mind. While these signals help you to understand where you are in your phase, they don't define your health, they don't define your future. Menopause is not an ending, it's just another transition for us women in life. And knowing these signals allow us to embrace what comes next with more clarity and confidence. So now that you understand these phases, you're probably wondering, my life be after I've gone through all of this turbulence, these phases? What to expect? How am I to strive now? Thrive through this. That's what we'll dive into next. I'll also share with you how you can protect your long-term health after menopause so you can strive in this next stage of life. So life after menopause, what should we look forward to? So what happens after menopause now is behind you. This is where your focus shifts from asking, am I still in menopause? Because you know now the signs, the symptoms, what your body is saying, to how do I live my healthiest life going forward? Let's talk about the areas that matters most at this time. Let's look at bone health. Estrogen, as we know, helps protect our bones. And when levels drop, bone loss can speed up. Now, in fact, women can lose up to 20% of their bone density in the first 5 to 7 years after menopause. So here is an important thing, is an important pointer. That's why it's important to do things that could strengthen our bones, like strength training, get into the gym, get into the gym, or get into a weight bearing exercise program, weight training, weight bearing exercises, and start to intake adequate calcium and vitamin D, which are important here. Simple habits like walking on a daily basis or using light weights or even gardening can go a long way at this phase. I had developed the love for gardening during the COVID phase, and that came because in my case I got angry at the price of tomatoes going up. When I saw that tomatoes went up to all $40 a pound during COVID, I said, I decided to go online and go into home gardening. I started to grow my own tomatoes, and then it blossomed from there. I started to grow other veggies like okra and cucumber and lettuce and pak choy, and it went from there. So it is a very good way, just 10 to 15 minutes in the garden, just doing weeding and all that kind of thing. I started to get a good burn, and I realized that this thing has its benefits. So another thing we need to look at here as well as heart health. Heart health is vital. It is very vital here at this phase in our life. Why? Because heart disease is the #1 cause of death in postmenopausal women. And I want you all to think about that. It is the #1 cause of death in postmenopausal women. You know, we used to think about heart attack and heart disease as a man thing. It has become our thing in the postmenopausal phase, the #1 cause of death for women in this phase. So without estrogen's protective effect, what happens, cholesterol and our blood pressure can rise and eventually affect our heart in a negative way. That is why regular checkups here are crucial. It's also why lifestyle choices like eating more whole foods, cutting down on processed sugars, staying active make a big difference at this phase. Even small changes like adding more fiber to your meals, more vegetables, more fruits, and managing Mr. Stress. That's what I call it. Stress. Stress is important to manage here because stress causes a lot of things to go haywire. You're stressed out and you're not sleeping well. You're stressed out. Your whole system starts to go and do what it wants to do. The stress can affect us in such a negative way that it can affect our general health. And eventually we start to get the symptoms of other, things that we don't want to get, like heart disease, high blood pressure, and things like that. So deep breathing can lower the risk. A nice deep breathing program. I go online and I go and look for deep breathing programs, and I think that is something I could probably deal with, different techniques to deep breathe to help reduce stress at this phase, or even during the menopausal phase. Let's look at sexual health. A lot of us women, our appetite for that has dropped tremendously during this time. Honestly speaking, a lot of women tell me they don't have any desire again. Many women, not all, many assume so many women assume that sex naturally declines after menopause, but for many women, that is not the case. Some women I've spoken to have told me that they become now more horny, if one for a better word, at this stage. after that part, the trauma of menopause and perimenopause pass, they are gearing to go again. But however, at this stage, because of the vaginal dryness and pain with intercourse, it can be, a little more difficult at this time. But there are solutions. There are over-the-counter lubricants, as I spoke about earlier on, vaginal moisturizers, and I suggest the water-based ones, and prescription options that you can go by a gynecologist, like estrogen therapy can help a lot and can restore the comfort and the intimacy at this time. Now, the key is not to suffer in silence. There is a real effective options out there. We are in the modern times. You don't need to hide. You just need to have the right guidance and get the necessary help. So let's look at weight and management. And another thing I would like to say before I go on, those of us with our partners, remember we are not single women. Let your husbands, your partners know what you are going through, because it could be very frustrating for them as it is for you. So let them know, let them in. Don't lock them out at this time. Let them come in, explain to them what you're going through. And if they are the kind and loving partner, as they are supposed to be, you might be surprised the amount of support you would get at this time. All right? So let's look at weight and metabolism. Many women notice weight shifting around. At this time, that once curvaceous body now has a tummy, this tummy that they don't like. It's now not flat as before. It has you have the bloating and all of that. So this isn't just cosmetic issue. It is this tummy, this extra tummy that you get at this time because of this phase is also linked to a higher risk of heart disease and diabetes at this phase. But there is good news here. Even modest lifestyle adjustments can make a big difference here. If we focus on healthy eating, on strength training, in reducing the amount of carbohydrates and then putting in more protein and fiber in our diet. After a while, and exercising and keeping that balanced nutrition with mindful eating, it would help to maintain weight and energy level. But it takes more effort, I must say. It takes much more effort. It used to be easier to lose weight before because we know we had the estrogen and the progesterone to back us up. And we had that increase in metabolism. But because another thing that the decrease in the estrogen and progesterone negative has on our body is our metabolism has decreased a lot. So when at this stage, we really need to do things to help that metabolism. So exercising, balanced diet, nutrition, mindful eating, not just taking every and anything and putting it into our mouths now. We need to think about what if I put in my mouth at this phase? What is it doing to my body? How would that affect me? Whether it be a positive or negative? These are the things we have to look at. We have to be responsible in our eating as well as in our general lifestyle. So let's look at our emotional well-being here. Some women describe postmenopausal as a new lease on life. Many women at this stage are happy with this phase, with this unpredictability of their cycles behind them. They feel freer, they feel calmer, they feel more focused. This is also a time when many women take up new hobbies, things that you couldn't do before, things that you wanted to do and you couldn't do because you had the babies to see about, the children to see about, you had your job to go to on a regular basis, you would tie down. You could develop hobbies, travel, you had things that you always wanted to do, probably go back to school or open a business, train yourself, get, do something new, something that you've always wanted to do for yourself. This is now the time to do it. But that could only be done if we really start to see about our bodies and, to ensure that, we're going through this phase in a very smooth way through lifestyle and making important other healthy choices. So we can delve into all these passions that we put aside because of our previous responsibilities. So supporting your mental health here with activities that you love. to do or always wanted to do and didn't get a chance to, maintaining or even reconnecting, making strong social connections here are important for your mental well-being, not staying like a recluse and not staying at home in your house. As you know, getting out there is important for your mental health at this time. Doing a lot of activities, joining a group like this, doing other activities, going hiking, things that you always wanted to do. And sometimes if you're feeling like you're locked in a phase, professional counseling, if needed, it could be necessary for some women at this time. It's just as important as caring for your physical health.
I understand.
So life after menopause isn't about loss, it's about redesigning yourself. It's about using the right tools that you can strive in this stage and enjoy the energy, confidence, and fulfillment and doing things that you've always wanted to do. So here's the bonus that I spoke about earlier on. Now, here's the bonus most women overlook at this time. For many women, sleep patterns begin to improve after menopause.
Right.
During menopause, the fluctuating hormones, the disruption in the sleep, leading to night sweats and restlessness have now stabilized. But once our body stabilizes, many women find that they can fall asleep now even better than before, a good night rest. And they stay, get up, use the bathroom, and they go back to sleep easy, and they stay asleep longer. So better sleep leads to more energy, it leads to reduced cortisol. It's good for our mental health because you have sharper focus now. That brain fog now is easing up quite a lot, and you have a better mood. You're not as antsy and biting as how you used to be. And it may not be as obvious as the other signs, but improved sleep quality is a very powerful indicator that you've transitioned past menopause into the postmenopausal phase. So, for those of you who missed out some of what I said, let's make a short recap. Menopause is a journey with 3 phases: perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. The signals that menopause is ending include 12 consecutive months, or as we say in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean areas, 12 straight months without seeing a period, hot flashes that are now easing up, stable hormonal levels, physical changes like bone health and skin shifts, and emotional steadiness. And once you're through it, life after menopause can be vibrant when you focus on bone health, heart health, sexual well-being, which is important because a lot of the younger women believe when you reach this stage that you're not active in this part of your life. You just need to sit down in a corner. But that is something that many of them would learn themselves when they reach this phase, that they have that sex drive as well, and at least some of us. And then weight management is important, as well as emotional vitality. So remember, menopause doesn't mean the end of vitality. It's simply the start of a new chapter. With awareness and proactive care, this stage of life can be one of growth. It can be one of strength and freedom from a lot of the other cares that you were carrying all along your whole life. So, ladies, this is the topic for this evening. And for our subscribers online, I would like that those of us who are here as well, go online and subscribe the channel, and invite ladies. Those of us who are going through this, is important that we invite and we subscribe as well, so that all the updates that we are sending on a weekly basis, that you all get it as soon as we update it, as soon as Dr. Khan updates it, sends it to YouTube, and you will get it as well. So I hope that this topic was quite timely, because this is something that has been on my mind to share with you all for a while now. So any comments at this stage, those of us who are in the actual postmenopausal phase, I would just like to, anybody would like to give any experience here, how they are coping in this phase of their life, this postmenopausal phase. The periods are gone, they're in this phase? Are you healthy? Are you striving, or are you still struggling? Anyone?
Yes. Good night again, Miss
Good
Atwell
night.
here.
Good night.
Well, I've mentioned it already to a more lesser basis on how my menopause was. That phase, I have passed through the three phases, and now I am quite in a menopausal stage. I am one who was I had a lot of sweat. When you see me, you see a fan. Um, and that was my biggest challenge, the sweating,
Mm.
the hot flashes. Sometimes you're not actually sweating, but the hot flashes. Now I have done with that, and I feel very comfortable. I don't know if it's my over matter, but I cannot do without a fan. I don't know if it's the sound of the fan, LOL. I don't know if it's just the extra just getting accustomed with the sound and the little extra breeze, you know. And air condition is too cold for me. But the
Okay.
fan, I've been using a fan for over 39 years now. My son is
Okay.
39, and that's the amount of time that I've been using a fan for. Aside
Okay.
from that, I
Mhm.
feel very healthy. As far as I know, I never had any postmenopausal bleeding. Um, I've never had, probably I have a, dryness here sometimes, but the general feelings, my health, as far as my health is concerned, I feel healthy. You must know when your body tells you something is not going right. And the only thing though, I must not be flustered or confused with anything. Of late
Okay.
here, I am getting um I'm forgetting a little bit. But I guess it would happen with anybody. That's how I see it. I don't know if I am in denial, but sometimes I would want to say something to somebody, and I'm not overly excited or things like that. And to me, right, it is not too much in the brain, but it's just like I might want to say something to somebody, and I know it is important to do such, but at
Mhm.
that minute I will forget, and then I would
Okay.
say to myself, or sometimes if I call on the telephone, I don't get
Mm-hmm.
a reply or answer from one, and then I would try to call again, and I would, or the person may return the call, and I would say to them, I just forget. I know something important, but I just forget what it is I was going to say. So off late here, and I'm talking about like 2 months ago, this is what was going on with me. I've lost a lot of hair, right? My hair
Okay.
was like my hair was like 12 inches down my back, and I've lost it in length, and I've lost it in volume, right? Um, at a certain time, to the top of the head, which we'll call the crown. I've
Mm-hmm.
lost the hair there, but recently I found that it grew back.
Okay.
Apparently the coldness from America, as I shared with Nurse, I'm sharing with everyone now. I don't know. I replenish hair. I lost all my hair, right? I cut it over there, and then when I came back to our usual climate, I found that the hair, it started probably feeling a little better and so on, and looking a little better. So this is what happened to me recently.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, that's it for now.
Okay.
I'm not certain if you all hearing a call coming through. Something about the telephone, I can't take off the call. But sorry about that.
No, I didn't hear the call. But
All
Miss
right.
Atwell, thanks for sharing. Thanks very much. Because I
But
mean, many women go through that
I
hair
just
loss.
need,
Mm-hmm.
sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I just
That's all
need
good.
people to be,
Mm-hmm.
as conscious as possible, recognize when a change is coming, right? And I'm not saying a simple change like forgetting, you will forget young, the old, the middle age, you would forget sometimes. But you see, your, I would say your clinical change, look at your clinical change, look to see if the bones, if you're feeling like when you get up, like you have to sort of settle yourself to walk, those are things that, may happen, and you have to take stock of it before it becomes too advanced, where probably
Yeah.
you may hardly able to take care of it altogether, right? So, and do according to nurse and Dr. Khan, do some look at yourself before it reaches there. I don't wait for it to
Prevention.
happen.
Yes.
Do
Mm-hmm.
some treat yourself.
Yes.
Treat yourself before
Get
things
the
like
help.
that. Yes. Okay, and
Thank you.
thanks again for allowing me to speak. I can go on and on and on because I'm a very talkative person, but I'll leave the room for somebody else to say something. Thanks again.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing. Yes. So some women, as this Elizabeth was saying, that some women go through the hair loss. I myself am experiencing this hair loss for quite a while. There's a while. If I'm extremely stressed out at work, my hair drops out. I've been honest with you. And when I'm home on holidays, my hair grows back. Normal. So as being overstressed is one of the things that I realize that I have that I have to deal with. And it affects my hair. Miss Ramcharan?
Yes,
Yes.
pleasant night, everyone.
Pleasant night. Good night.
If, if somebody has a hysterectomy due to the fact that they had endometrial cancer, do
Mm-hmm.
they go into, I don't know if this is a correct statement, do they go into automatic menopause?
All right. It depends on the type of hysterectomy you have. Sometimes they do a hysterectomy that they remove all they remove the womb, the ovaries and everything. Once that is they do a total, all those organs are removed, yes, you will automatically go into menopause. But if they just remove parts, remove the womb and they leave the ovaries, you will still be seeing your monthlies. And eventually you will go through that phase of menopause. You'll go through it normally, but without that that problem with the cancer or the bleeding. For example, some women have fibroids and they do a hysterectomy, but they leave the ovaries in place, right? For people like anybody like that, the bleeding would stop, but totally they're not they will not go into to menopause automatically, right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Violet, Miss Calendar, I see you were saying something?
Yes, yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, first I want to apologize for last week, for not responding because
That's
I
okay.
had I had some electronic issues.
That's
But
okay, but thank
yes,
you.
but I was hearing everything, and also I just want to say thank you for my bestest, most beautiful cousin for introducing me to this program.
You are welcome.
Okay, and
You are welcome.
yes, so I want to say I took away a lot last week. Two things that I'm doing that I heard last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating my salad before my
Right.
before the meal, and
Yes.
also I'm doing like a 10 minutes to 15 minutes exercises after the meal. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do too much because I recently had a spinal surgery.
Okay.
So I'm still,
In
recuperating.
the
So
healing, yeah, you're recovering process,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So I cannot really like do a lot, But I just want to say thank you and concerning the issues tonight, well, I've been there already,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I think presently I'm in the little forgetful stages
Okay.
because, for example, last week it was fun that I took my tablets to the kitchen and I drank all the water and the tablets were still in my hand. Right?
It's sometimes nice to laugh at yourself.
So, so it was really a senior moment. It was,
Yeah,
it was fun for everyone. So I
yeah.
think I'm there a little. Right, but I want to say that your show is very informative, and I appreciate, my cousin for introducing me to this program.
You are
Okay,
welcome, ladies. You are welcome.
yeah,
Welcome. I am just
and God
mhm.
bless you, and God bless all the ladies that are on the program also.
Thank you. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
yes, and thank you again to my bestest, most beautiful
This
Grace.
bracelet, much love
Yes,
going your way.
yes, yeah. The love is always there.
Yes, cousin.
Okay. All righty. So thank you. You
You're
continue
welcome.
what you are doing, and I'll continue listening and following, and and gathering some of this information that you are sharing. Most
You're
appreciated.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome. And
righty.
share as well, to other
Oh,
women.
definitely. I did
Yes.
share this evening, but I'm not sure of
Some
who
of the
came
ladies, if they
on.
got through.
Yes, I'm not sure because it was a bit late when I did share, but
Okay.
I will go by mouth also. I will introduce you by mouth.
Okay.
All right?
Very much.
Right.
But
Yes.
that is very good. What we can do, is those of us who miss the live sessions like this, they can always,
Mm-hmm.
when Dr. Gan posts it up on YouTube in the next few days, they would be able to go it over. And to go also
Okay.
all the past ones here that it has on the healthy reset, you'll
Yeah.
be able to go over all the past topics we've been doing for the last year and a half to 2 years.
Oh, it's been so long.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all righty. I thought it was just a few weeks ago, so then I got a
Mhm.
lot to look at.
It has a lot to look at, a lot of topics.
Yes, yes, yes. I definitely would be doing
Yes.
so. And
Yes.
thank you for that information also.
You're welcome.
Okay, dokie. So that's it.
Okay,
Blessings, everyone.
thanks again. Thanks for your comments and for your encouragement.
You're welcome.
I saw somebody else up just now. I saw Miss Mulligan. You have any comment to make before we close off? Sharina, I seen your hand up. You could mute and you could speak.
Yes. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night and welcome.
This is my first time listening and
Welcome.
joining.
Welcome.
I am in full menopause. I had a full hysterectomy. I'm 47 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I have so much, a lot of the symptoms, plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
the
how you coping?
forget,
How are you coping? What are the gynae gave you any pointers as to what to do, what not to do, what to expect, what not to expect?
well, before surgery, they told me some of the things to expect and the rest I read up on them. Um, one of the things that I am
Not for
experiencing.
long.
Hello?
Hi, good night.
Hello?
Hi, Miss Sharita, I'm right here. I,
Yes.
I thought I heard
One of
somebody
the,
cutting through. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
one of the things I'm experiencing, well, like I have the forgetfulness, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things is sometimes it is very difficult for me to understand something. You might be explaining something to me and I cannot understand
Oh.
anything you're saying, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, somebody might be saying something that they think I should know. I'm not catching. I'm not
You're not
catching
catching
you.
what they're saying.
Yes, and sometimes, it just come across as if, it's maybe at pretending or something, but it's not that. Sometimes really forgetful.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up the phone to call somebody, like that lady was saying, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember who I was calling,
Hmm.
much less the what I was calling about. And sometimes I may hang up if it's somebody I know. I might stay on
Yeah.
and say, well, I can't remember what I was calling about, but I have so many of these symptoms. You hear last, I had that. A friend of mine, when she was telling me that she was going through it, I said, thank God I didn't have that, and rest assured I got it.
Hmm.
I got it. But
So, put you on any kind of hormonal therapy? You taking any supplements? What is going on with that part, that
I,
aspect?
I take vitamins. I couldn't do the hormonal replacement
All
because
right.
at first they thought I had cancer, but
Okay.
eventually they
Yes,
realized that I didn't have that, but they still
that's
said,
right.
don't take
Hmm.
it. So
Yeah. You taking any form of supplements, anything, any brain food, anything like that to help
um,
the brain?
I use at first I was using evening primrose, and then I started taking ashwagandha, and I stopped for
Mm-hmm.
a while, and then I took um magnesium, but I don't think I
Right. You
took the
started with the magnesium
magnesium
glycinate.
yet, but I don't think I took it long enough
And
to
what
see.
time you was taking the magnesium, in the day or the night?
um I think it did, but I was
All right.
reading this week that it's nighttime.
Right. So we dealt with that topic already. So they informed me the nighttime is the best time to take the magnesium.
Yeah, I was
About
reading that this week.
yeah, an hour or two before bedtime, you
Mm-hmm.
take that to help. It would help too if you're having the cramping too, as well. You're having cramps at night, the heart palpitations, all of that. It would help with
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that as well.
right.
It would help with
Yes,
that because um because of the surgery, everything just came onto you in a flash. So it's a lot of
yeah.
things to deal with. So
And one thing,
that would help calm a lot of the issues that you have going on with you.
yeah, and one time I felt like I was on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's working for you right now? The ashwagandha is working for you?
Well, I stopped it, and I'm saying to myself, now I have to start it again.
All right. So one
But
of the things I could tell you what's going on with you right now, you you're not being consistent with what you're taking because it's not
mm-hmm,
yeah, need to be consistent with what you're using. The
yes,
starting and the stopping will what will cause you to continue to go through this and to be so unstable during this phase. And you know this time could be the real unstable time because of how the estrogen and progesterone like a roller coaster now. So you need to be consistent with what you're taking. So you will know
mm-hmm,
what is working for you,
yes,
right? So you're on the ashwagandha, take it consistently, right? Don't just
yes,
take it for a week or two and then stop it and say this thing not working. It would take time for it to build up in your system. The same thing with the magnesium glycinate. Many women, they tell me I take it for a week. I find I wasn't working and that's that. And they stop
no,
taking it
well,
or they take it
the,
at the wrong time, as what you
yeah,
were telling me.
yes. When I was taking evening primrose, I took that for about a year, and no, before I went menopause start, I was taking it one because I know that before you meet menopause, if you start taking it when menopause start, it will help. So I was
Mm-hmm.
taking it for a few years before, and then when I went into menopause, I started taking a higher dose. And I really did see a difference. But after a while, it didn't work for me again. Is after
Yes,
what, a few years or so, it didn't work again. And then I took the
yes.
ashwagandha for about 4 months or so the one that I took the least was the magnesium. That was just about 3 weeks, a month or so. So yes, I have to go back and take.
Okay.
But the evening primrose after a while wasn't helping.
Yes, it doesn't help everybody. You say you actually used to use evening primrose, but it started to cause me to get a lot of breakthrough bleeding. At first, it started to work for me, and then I had to stop it. And I try. So over the years, I've been trying different supplements until I found what was my niche, right? So I use I use my omega-3s. I use my D3, K2. And I use that as well in the night, the D3 and the K2. I use the magnesium glycinate, which is
Yes,
important. In the
yes,
night, it's not just any magnesium,
yes.
right? And I use those in the nighttime. I use ashwagandha at times, but not as consistently as I use the magnesium. The magnesium is my go-to. The magnesium glycinate and the D3 and K2, my go-to as well as my diet is I have decreased sugar, processed sugar a lot, and that probably you need to look at your diet as well and to beef up and things like that. Sugar affects the hormonal balance. It increases inflammation. It increases cortisol and things like that. So you have to look at your sugar intake, especially artificial sugar, right? Like all the cake, biscuits, cookies, juice, soft drinks, things like that. You have to decrease that to almost nil and up your fruit intake to replace that sugar. So if you know you're still having a lot of sugar and artificial sugar and things like that in your diet, you need to decrease that as well, and the salt intake.
Yes, I have cut down on the sugar. Yes, I have to cut down on the salt now. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it would be so once you start to be consistent in what you're doing and you're upping your water intake as well,
Oh,
all
that
these
is
things.
on top. The water intake is on top.
All right, good. So, and then you're working on your sleeping as well, things like that, and your stress. All of these things work together. It's not just one
Mm-hmm.
thing. You have to hit this menopause shift from all
Yes.
sides, right? So, yeah, all
Mm-hmm.
these things, yeah, they work together,
Yes.
right, for a positive outcome.
Yes.
So, start taking the supplements at the right time. So, the magnesium glycinate and the D3 and K2, take them 1 or 2 hours before you go to bed. You can take them together, right? You can talk to your
Mm-hmm.
healthcare provider as well. Make sure, let them know what you're on, because if you're a person with high blood pressure, what the magnesium will do eventually is will keep your blood pressure at a much healthier, lower rate and helps your blood vessels to become subtle and, that stiffening of the blood vessels. So it would have your blood pressure much easier eventually, much lower
Mm-hmm.
once you take it consistently. So it will help your heart in a positive way, real positive.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hello?
Hi. Thanks again, Miss
Uh,
Shabina, Miss Violet.
yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Going back to last week when you spoke of the berberine, and I
Yeah.
was unable to speak, as you know, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking the berberine with the Ceylon cinnamon, the
Mm-hmm.
chromium, the bitter
Mm-hmm.
melon, and turmeric. But
Oh, that
it's
the combined one. Yes. Yes.
yes, it's in a liquid form with a dropper.
One, and I haven't seen that one down here.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't seen that one down here as yet. The me don't say I don't see it, but not as yet. Because I
Okay, that's it.
look a lot around a lot of the health stores for a lot of the supplements, so I could make referrals and to let ladies know what we have, what it has
You
available out there. But the ones
you
that I
haven't
get
seen?
is I
Uh-huh.
haven't. I use the capsules myself.
Oh, this is a liquid with a dropper, and it's
So,
it can
mhm.
yeah.
Okay, that's convenient.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay, so you
Ma-
let me know as we continue. Let me know how that working for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of you making your lifestyle changes, and as you say, you started to do some exercise. I hope you pass that exercise with your doctor. Let them know that you start some light walking. It's good to really
Yes, well, that
let
has
them
passed
know.
because I'm doing was OT and PT.
Okay,
Yeah.
right? So let them know whatever you're doing, what supplements you're taking, so that you wouldn't have any kind of any interaction probably with some of the medication you're on. So just let them know,
Well,
right?
let me tell you, I'm not
Yes.
taking any of the medications that they give me
Oh
because
my.
people fridge up
Eh,
here is filled with medication. I can do without that.
Okay. Okay.
What I'm doing, I'm drinking the green vibrance
Uh-huh.
with the probiotic fibers.
Mm-hmm.
And my I'm reading it out the way the protein powder,
Uh-huh.
the ashwagandha with cinnamon, and I
Mm-hmm.
make a smoothie with all this stuff, and I have that on
Mm-hmm.
mornings for my
Mm-hmm.
breakfast.
But you let them know, you let your healthcare provider know, your doctors know what you're doing as well. That's important. Don't hide
Well,
it. Just let them know what you're doing.
I'll consider it, yes, because
Yes,
I'm
because
not
you're working along with them. They're
yeah,
not your enemy, because they had a role to play when you had the surgery and stuff like that. So at least, let them know what you're doing and the road you're on.
I will, but even at the hospital, I was hospitalized for 3 weeks, and I
Mhm.
refused some of the medication at the hospital.
Okay. Okay
Because
then.
I don't want to turn on a dick because the
Okay.
medications that they give up here, it's a lot of opioids and whatever, and people get
Okay.
addicted. So
Drug you out.
I
Okay. All
yes,
right. Okay.
I refuse in the hospital self. I
Okay
I
then.
bear I bear my pain.
Okay. All right. Okay. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. So that's my input for tonight.
Okay then. Thank you.
So
Thank
as
you.
soon what I would do, I should be down. I'm supposed to come down to Trinidad as soon as I get it okay to travel, and I would bring down this the berberine, the one that I'm taking.
Okay.
Yes, I'll bring it down for my cousin.
That's
So
very
that
nice.
yes, so you would be able to see it also
Okay.
what it is.
No
All
problem.
right.
Thanks for
Oh,
sharing.
thank you so much. Have a blessed night.
You too. So ladies, I want to tonight has been a very active session. I want to thank everybody for coming on again tonight, for coming on tonight. And Dr. Khan, right? Everybody's just about ready to